Hey everybody, it's Brandon Scheid, and we are here today to talk about Parawings. And we are specifically talking about the all-new Pyro from VAYU, something I've had an intimate knowledge of and I've been working on with our designer Bill Henson for over almost a year actually. And I'm really happy to finally bring this to market because it absolutely answers all the needs for your modern day parawinging. So let's start with some features that make it really great. First, we're going to talk about the simple ones. It's color-coded leading edge, so it's easy to identify which way is up. You notice the center panel has a different color on it so that you know which is the center. We also have color-coded lines, so it's easy to identify your A's, B's, C's, and brakes. Keeps everything straightforward and easy. Now, when we talk about canopy material, we have the really great, super lightweight and hydrophobic MJ32 fabric. It's the same you'll see in a lot of high-end competitive parawings. It means it's light, it's stowable, and it's durable, and it sheds water. The ribs and anything that takes load are actually made of a stiffer canopy material so that they can take the load and not go with fatigue. And you'll notice all the edges are finished with a tape and so that you don't have any raw edges to rip or break or anything like that. That's a really important feature. Additionally, we have some tip drains on the wingtip sections to let water out really easily, something that is pretty straightforward and allows it to fly hassle-free. Now, when we talk about the bridal lines, again, I said they're color-coded to be able to tell the difference. We have these Leros lines here that are really small diameter. They have very little drag. They're stiff and they're really responsive. And then on our A-line cluster, which as you can see is separated here for easy stow, we're actually running the Eldrix Dry Max lines that are a little bit bigger diameter, smoother on the hands, and easier to get in and out of your pouch. So the most feature that's really important here is we have support on all the required segments, nothing too weird, no weird complications, but we have a separation of the A and B riser group. And what this allows you to do is easily grab the A-line risers, cinch up and stow. In one arm length, you have your hand on the leading edge. Everything is stowed really quickly and hassle-free. And that is a big plus when you're riding down a swell, trying to catch a bump, stowing your parawing. It's good to have it really straight and easy. Even on the 5 meter, it's only an arm span to stow, so it answers that. They're not so short that you don't have power and that it's really twitchy, but they're not so long that you need double grabs to stow. Now, the parawing itself is a very square outline, a very straight leading edge. That gives us a lot of penetrative power. That gives us a lot of upwind ability and stability in the leading edge. We have a medium to high aspect ratio wing, and that is going to give us the best balance between upwind and low end power. We don't want something that just makes power and drags downwind and doesn't go upwind, and we don't want something that's so high aspect that it's hard to get up on. So the blend of the aspect ratio into the perfect compromise of power, responsiveness, and upwind. Additionally, we have added some stiff Perlon rods to the leading edge so that we don't have any deformation. They're the best blend between stiffness and stowability. It's a really great setup. Now, finally, when it comes down to the most important stuff here, we also have a wonderful ergonomic bar. As you can see, it is a great diameter. It comes with no catch ends and these rounded fatigue-free ends so that you don't have any hard points hitting your fingers. You can rest and relax, easy to install a harness line on. And then what might stand out to you is what we're calling the bridge line. So this bridge line takes the C's and the D's and moves them off the bar, so you have a hands-free bar with no points attaching the bar. Also, as we sheet in and out with the parawing, aka depower the parawing, adjust the angle of attack, this bridge allows the lines to change in their orientation, which allows for better canopy support, better support during the depower phase, and a more responsive parawing. I think that's really important. It's something often overlooked, is get the points off the bar and make sure that the canopy responds really well to everything. Now, when we talk about turning, we don't want something so slow and sluggish that it doesn't listen, especially when we're depowered, right? Because that reduces the tension on the rear line. So we wanted a wing that is responsive and listens really well. So it steers really great, even when under depowered situation. We still have control of the parawing. It's still really easy and forgiving. The profile that we use generates a lot of power. It also pumps really nice. It doesn't surge forward or shoot forward. And best of all, it rips upwind. I've been super impressed with this. I took it for an upwind downwind yesterday. It took me 6 tacks to get upwind to the top of town, which is like 5 miles, and then I was able to stow it really effectively and get all the way downwind. There's no dragging the thing upwind. It drives upwind. It's super easy to stow with one pull. It packs down really small thanks to the lightweight fabric. You have a non-fatigue, non-cluttered bar, and you have great materials that it's built out of. What more could you ask for in a modern day Parawing? That's the Pyro. It comes in sizes 2.5, 3.2, 4.0, and 5.0, and it is something you are not going to want to miss out on.